I like to start these videos with a joke, but the more I thought about it, it is Pokemon in 2025. That's it. That's the punchline. We have indie developers out here creating open world RPGs with a $900 budget PC. Meanwhile, we have Pokemon over here who can't render a tree without tanking their frame rate, and that's with all of the fog and the 9-foot render distance. The textures look like they were just pulled from a GameCube tech demo, and somehow Roblox mods made by kids have more intuitive and fun gameplay. The Pokemon company has billions of dollars in revenue, and they basically use that money to force Game Freak to speed run their deadlines at the end of a cracking whip, and the result of that is what we saw this morning in the Pokemon Presents for July of 2025. We got pretty much, I mean, look, this was easily one of the most disappointing Pokemon Presents I've ever seen. We saw some information about Pokemon Concierge, some Surfetched and Pikachu show or something. Pokepark Kanto looks really cool, and then we got the usual updates for Pokemon Go, I think Pokemon Sleep has an update. We see Pokemon Masters still exists for some reason. Pokemon Unite is getting Latios and Latias. There's a new set for the TCG. There's a new mobile game that's like a cute little puzzle thing that honestly I think this looks pretty cool. I might actually try this out. There's new terror raids for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and apparently it requires 1 million victories against these Pokemon. We got an update for Pokemon Champions, which I know some people are going to be excited about, and then finally we got another insight into Pokemon Legends ZA, and this was kind of the peak of the entire Pokemon Presents, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I was really expecting more here. I was expecting some Pocket TCG, the new mobile game where you open cards and collect them and things like that. I don't think we saw anything regarding that game. We didn't see anything about Pokemon Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness coming to the GameCube Virtual Console. On the Switch 2, we didn't see any teaser for any upcoming other games. We didn't see any remake news. We didn't see any next generation news. We didn't see really anything, and I'm not looking for news necessarily. I'm just looking for a little glimmer, just a little hint, a little something that's like, we needed something big here, because Legends EA being the star of the show was an absolute, honestly, and I've said this on the channel before, but I know a lot of you guys are new watching, so let me just reiterate here. I didn't like Legends Arceus. I didn't. I know that a lot of people really enjoyed the fact that Pokemon left their tried and true formula. I thought they did it in a very boring way. I don't want to catch the same 10 Pokemon over and over again. If I want to walk around a poorly loaded open world grinding quests, I'll just play classic World of Warcraft, right? Like, there's no enjoyment there collecting 10, 15, 20, 30 of the same exact Pokemon. And it's just, I can appreciate what they were going for there with Legends Arceus. I like the setting of the region. I like the idea of exploring a Pokemon world back in time. I get what they were going for, but unfortunately for me, the game just missed the mark, right? Like, objectively, the render distance was atrocious, and so when you're looking at what is an open world, you're looking out at this big vast like green textured square, ain't nothing going on, can't see Pokemon outside of 6 feet away from you. Like, it's just nothing, right? It's just, it was such a big letdown for me, and honestly, like, I was expecting Breath of the Wild but Pokemon, and it just fell like so far short of that it just, I immediately lost interest, right? Even the story was like, you fell from the sky but you have your phone with you. It's just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Okay, and that's fine. I know that like a lot of people really liked that game, so I'm not going to try to convince you that it's bad. Objectively, maybe I'm wrong. I don't care. Maybe I'm wrong here, okay? But I need you guys to understand something. All right, all of this criticism comes from a player who loves the Pokemon franchise. This franchise is my most played franchise in my entire life. I have played more Pokemon than I have played any other game franchise, and I don't think I can ever possibly beat it. It taught me how to read. I own literally every single mainline Pokemon game. Okay, I know this isn't a mainline game, starting from the Game Boy all the way up to the latest hot garbage that they released on the Switch. Okay, I mean, these games, I liked Sword and Shield. I'll be honest, I liked Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet was horrible. I forced myself to beat Scarlet and Violet. It was like pulling teeth, but I wanted to make sure that when I critique this game and say how bad it is, I want to come at it from a perspective of someone who's experienced the entire game. I know what I'm talking about. This game from start to finish was not a good game, and I will be honest, the Area Zero storyline, like literally the climax of the story at the very end, was great. Okay, it was great, and I like Area Zero, but the whole 80% in the middle there was just not good. It was just not good. Okay, so I share with you my physical Pokemon collection and my experiences with these games because I need you you to understand that I want nothing more than for Pokemon to be good. Okay, I want this franchise to be what it once was, and every single release on the Switch, we have strayed farther and farther from the original vision of the game, and the quality of the game gets worse and worse and worse, and Pokemon Legends EA is sort of the latest chapter in that saga of just absolute shovelware garbage, and I cannot believe how bad this trailer looks for Legends EA. So I want to be very clear here. Okay, when they first announced Legends EA, I wasn't excited for the game, so my expectations were already really low, and here we are just 3 months away from its release, and the trailer that they show in the Pokemon Presents allegedly for the Switch 2 looks like absolute garbage. This game actually looks like it could run on the GameCube, and I'm not even being hyperbolic. It actually just looks that bad. Look at this grass texture, right? And like, look, I know graphics don't make a game, but if you can't even do the bare minimum right, why would I possibly give you another chance with the franchise that has been failing over and over and over again on the Switch? Now I know what you're thinking, Omniarch. The Scarlet and Violet are the best-selling Pokemon games on the Switch. They're one of the best-selling Pokemon games in the entire franchise. I hear you. Okay, I hear you, but let me just remind you, back in February of this year, Pal World hits 32 million players across PC and consoles, cementing its place among best-selling indie games ever. Okay, ever. And Pokemon Scarlet and Violet as of 3 months ago was at 26.79 million units sold. So Pal World, which is an indie game which was criticized by a lot of diehard Pokemon fans for being just a cheap ripoff, right, has been able to get more players playing their game than Scarlet and Violet, which is the latest mainline Pokemon games. Now listen, I understand Pal World came out on PC. I understand that it's on Game Pass. Okay, I know that Scarlet and Violet, when we're looking at revenue, Scarlet and Violet obviously made more money. According to this, about 10 million of these users are Xbox users, so it's probably on Game Pass. So really you could say, okay, they sold 22 million. That's less than Scarlet and Violet, but total player base is higher. Okay, my point with telling you this is that an indie game developer can produce a product that is as appealing as a mainline Pokemon game without any of the previous goodwill or franchise support that Pokemon has had. In other words, Pokemon has been around for what, almost 30 years at this point. Okay, so Pokemon has decades and decades of goodwill and of player base behind it, and Pal World was able to come out with their first ever game, and they have achieved arguably a similar level of player base and sales. Now again, Pal World was like $30, Scarlet and Violet was 60. So again, we're not comparing revenue. Obviously Scarlet and Violet is a bigger commercial success. Okay, but how is it possible? Like, how is this even possible that an indie developer can come out and literally 1v1 challenge Pokemon? I mean, they are actually quite literally PvPing right now in the legal system. Like, that is actually happening at this very moment, and the answer is that Pokemon fans are craving a quality open world experience. They are begging for it. They've been asking Nintendo for this for years now, years. Even since Pokemon Coliseum came out on the original GameCube, players have been asking for a quality open world experience, and the original Pokemon Legends Arceus tried to achieve that. I would argue that it did not do that very well. Scarlet and Violet, you can't even go inside buildings in that game. Okay, so don't even come at me with the, oh, it's an open world. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just an open world. Emphasis on open. It's nothing. It's just empty. It's just, anyway. And then now we have Legends EA, the follow-up to Legends Arceus, right? And we have them emphasizing Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Look at the buildings, buddy. These are painted on windows, and it's copy and pasted the same 3 textures. What is this? You are 3 months from launch and your balconies are glued on. What are you doing, Pokemon? What is happening here? How is this even possible that my already low expectations could get even lower? I'm surprised the picture frames in the back have a 3rd dimension here. Not a shadow in sight, by the way. Okay, apparently the lighting in this room is just magical. It's just coming from somewhere. And again, I want to be very honest here. Okay, graphics do not make a great game, obviously, right? Like, I can play Pokemon Red today and have a good time, but when you make billions of dollars, there is a level of quality that players expect from your games, and like, this just looks like shovelware Unity trash. Like, you can actually make a better looking game, and there exist better looking games that are open world on mobile, right? Like, I can play Genshin Impact on my phone and it looks 1,000 times better than this, and that is like so absolutely depressing that Pokemon has reached this level of just absolute garbage. This looks like absolute trash. I cannot emphasize how uninspired this looks. Where is the signature Pokemon art style? Why does this game look like just any other mobile game that's ever been released on the Unity engine, right? There is zero distinctive art style here. There's no creativity. These look like generic assets that were just found on like the Unity store or like the Unreal Engine store. Actually, I take that back. If this was Unreal Engine, it would look 1,000 times better. I actually can't believe what I'm looking at here. I really cannot believe this. This is like, this game looks like it needs 3 more years in the oven, right? Like it looks like it's not even close to ready. And I just, who is this for, right? Like who is this game actually for? Like you can customize your character and your dog gets a haircut. Like, okay. Oh, but they have megas now, so we're supposed to be excited about that. Okay, cool. Megas are back. And like, look, I like megas, and to be honest, Mega Dragonite looks freaking insane. I think it looks incredible. They absolutely popped off with the design of Mega Dragonite. I love it. The fact that it has Dragonair features, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing. I'm glad that you've made this, right? And I love mega evolutions, right? I think megas are the best gimmick out of any Pokemon game that we've ever seen before. I love it, right? And so the fact that megas are back, like, I want to be excited about this, but you've put them in what is easily the least appealing looking game that you've ever revealed, and we're 3 months away from release, and it just like, what is this? How, I can't possibly get excited for this. I simply cannot. There's nothing here for me. And I knew that this would happen the day that they announced Legends EA and they said it would be on Switch and Switch 2. I knew it was dead on arrival. That was a non-starter for me, right? Because the biggest complaint that I had with ZA, right, is that the open world was empty. It was clear to me that Game Freak was not able to make an open world game and do it correct, right? And my experience with Legends was proven twice as right when they released Scarlet and Violet. That open world is garbage, right? So when I saw Legends EA was coming out on the regular Switch, I was like, oh, it's gonna have the same problems. It's gonna have the same graphics. It's gonna be the exact same thing, and that's it. So the fact that there's a Switch 2 edition, it's like, again, it's a non-starter because you've already had to make the game with the Switch in mind. You've already committed to making it work on that old hardware, and so it's like, you can't possibly make it that much better, right? Even if the Switch 2 edition is 30% better in terms of performance, you know, frame rate, whatever, like, you're still gonna have the framework is still the original Switch. It's still going to be built on almost 10-year-old hardware at this point, right? Like, so out of the gate, I knew this game was dead on arrival, but like, man, we are 3 months out and it looks way worse than I thought it would. Is it just me? Like, I really, again, I want to love Pokemon. I'm begging, I am literally begging for a quality Pokemon game. I don't know what else to say. Like, this is my favorite franchise of all time, and I'm looking at a game that is just, I can't believe my eyes. Like, I genuinely can't believe how bad the game looks. It's a follow-up to a game that was already not very impressive to me. I know lots of people liked it. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, what is happening? Look at this, man. The whole road is flat. What is this, dude? Oh my god. I genuinely wish Pokemon never came to console, right? I genuinely, like, I know that the Switch is a portable hybrid, right? But like, if this is what we're gonna get, like, if you're just gonna continue to desecrate the franchise over and over and over again with just constantly worse and worse and worse games, like, Pokemon doesn't deserve this, right? It's the most successful franchise ever. Like, it does not deserve this treatment. It's just embarrassing, to be honest with you guys. Like, this is just truly embarrassing. I don't know. Part of me, like, when the game was announced, I said I wouldn't buy it, right? Because I didn't like the first Legends. Obviously, I'm not going to like this one, right? You guys, I mean, you've listened to me rant this entire video. You know how I feel, right? But now the game looks so bad that it's almost like I almost have to play it. I almost have to play it just so that way I can once again, just like with Scarlet and Violet, I can once again say I was right. It's probably the best damn screenshot in the entire freaking thing, and it's just because there's actually grass with a third dimension. Like, it's so sad that is we are scraping the bottom of the barrel. We've actually blown through the bottom, and we are digging in the dirt beneath the barrel at this point. Like, what? My god, guys, I don't know. I'm honestly just really disappointed. This Pokemon Presents, this was, it just was such a massive letdown. There was and again, my expectations were low. I had no expectations, right? They were already like mediocre, and yet we still just got the absolute worst case scenario again. We got the worst case scenario. How many years can we get the worst case scenario in a row before Pokemon finally decides to give Game Freak a bigger studio and more development time? Like, they clearly can't pump these games out. I don't know what's going on there, but like, this ain't it, boys. This is not it. The original Legends Arceus came out in January of 2022, so it has been 3.5 years by the time this ZA comes out. It's been 3.5 years since then, and it's just clear that Game Freak couldn't do it. They just simply could not do it. They could not make the game significantly better. And like, look, we'll see when the game comes out, right? Like, I almost want to buy the game to be proven wrong. Like, I want to be embarrassed with how wrong I am. Like, I truly want that for the franchise. I want this to be the best Pokemon game that they've ever released, right? I genuinely want that. Okay, and so I almost want to get the game just to be proven wrong, but like, in 3.5 years they've made, it's like they just took the original assets and just built a, you know, Lumiose City, and that was it. That's all they had time to do. Like, I don't know, like, well, I'm just so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in the direction that this franchise is going. It's actually like, it's like watching a car crash, and I just can't look away. The only thing that Pokemon could do that would be even worse than this would be like add microtransactions to their games, right? Like, we are actually almost at worst case scenario. We are at, I can't think of a worse outcome, right, besides like literally just microtransactions and like a free-to-play mobile model, right? Like, that would be truly, like, that would be black-pilled end stage. Like, the franchise is truly dead, right? Now, but we have been on life support for the better part of a decade now, and how much longer, right? And the worst part is that it's still gonna sell. It's still gonna sell, and I can't tell if Pokemon fans just don't know any better, or if they like the abuse, or if they've convinced themselves that this is quality gameplay. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess I'm part of the problem, because I bought Scarlet and Violet and those games were trash, right? But I think it's just a hope. It's just a lingering hope that maybe this time things will be different. But like, how many times are we going to do that, right? Sword and Shield were okay. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were, I mean, it's hard to even like compare them. The games looked great, and I liked what they did, but it was like baby's first Pokemon game, right? Like, there wasn't much there, you know? It was kind of just like, look at Kanto in 3D, like, oh, nice. And like, I like that, right? But like, I don't know, like, it's just, I genuinely haven't been gripped by a Pokemon game since the 3DS, and I don't know how that's possible, right? Like, how do you get better and better hardware and release worse and worse games, and they continue to sell better and better and better because people are just clinging to that copium, that just, they're hoping one day maybe Pokemon will return to being a franchise that has some degree of quality. And yet here we are 3 months out from Legends ZA, and the game looks like it runs on a TI-84. It's such a disappointment, guys. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm sorry. It was just a long rant of me just hating on the game, but I just can't believe it. I really just cannot believe it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you excited for ZA? And look, if you are, more power to you. I hope you love the game. I hope you have fun. I hope that you find that magic that you've always felt in Pokemon. I truly do. I really want people to enjoy this game, but I know I'm not, and I want to be wrong, but like, it's just so clear to me that they are running on such a short timeline with such low effort. It just, I don't know what to do. I just, do I buy it and hope I'm wrong, or do I just boycott it and just say F this trash? I'm sick of it. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on all of this, and while you're down there, drop a thumbs up in the video, subscribe if you're new here. And with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.